Welcome back to a new video. In this video we are going to do data cleaning using Pandas library of Python. I'm going to be sharing the dataset link in the description of this video. Let's start coding. So we are in Kaggle and this is the dataset that we are going to use in this video. I'm going to give this link, Kaggle link, in the description of this video. You can download this dataset from that link and you can just use this download button here for downloading the file. And you can put the CSV file in the same destination where you are going to run the Python code for this video and you can work with it easily. Okay, let's talk about this page. So it says credit risk customers, predict if customers are risky or not for credit. Great, so about dataset. This dataset consists of 20 features of the customers. It could be used to predict if the customer could be given credit. Many features require data cleaning, which is going to be our task for this video. It says this is a great dataset for practicing data cleaning and feature engineering and building a binary classification model. Okay, that's great. Let's take a look at it. Some of the columns. We are going to talk about the dataset in the code editor, but I'm going to take a quick look here. We have checking status, duration, credit history, purpose, and credit amount, saving status, employment, installment, personal status, other parties, and we have 11 more in the list, like residence since, property magnitude, age, other payment plans, housing, and existing credits, job, number of dependents, foreign worker, on telephone, and features like that. Okay, so you are going to download this CSV file when you click the download button in here. I'm going to do the same, and let's meet in the code editor in a second. Okay, I'm in my code editor right now. So I downloaded the dataset. The data file is in here, creditcustomers.csv, and I prepared the dataset link as a txt. You can check the description for downloading this dataset, for applying the same codes with me. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a notebook like notebook.ipynb, and we are going to run our codes in here. I'm going to select my kernel here, Python 3.11.4, and then next what I'm going to do is I'm going to import pandas as PD. This is going to be the main library that we are going to be using in this video. And in here I want to show you something about pandas. I will say PD version. I love showing the versions of the libraries that I'm going to be using in the videos because sometimes libraries get updated, and with the updates the codes or the codes working behind the codes that we are using can be changed with updates. How we can install this version of pandas is you can either say pip3 install pandas equals to 203 in Mac, or you can say pip install pandas 2.0.3 like this in Mac from terminal. You are going to open here, you are going to say where I wrote pip3 show pandas, you are going to say pip or pip3 install pandas, and here is the version of the pandas that I'm using. Great, so we already imported the pandas, and now I'm going to do pandas read CSV, and I'm going to give the CSV file name in here, creditcustomers.csv. Let's paste it out and see if it's going to be loaded successfully. Yeah, it seems pretty nice. So we can set this to something like data and a Q sign. So from now on, when we call the data, our data frame is going to come like this. So we are going to have some data cleaning steps. I prepared them like in here, like this, but I'm not going to talk about them firstly. Let's firstly discover our data frame. So let's talk about it. We have columns like both float values and string values. We already talked about the column names. Let's see all of them like data.columns. But firstly, I want to show you the latest one, class good bad. Okay, that is our label for this dataset, and here's the column list. And let's check data.info for getting a general information about our dataset. We have object float, 7 floats and 14 objects with range index of 1000 and total of 21 columns. Our dataset looks pretty good. So I'm going to call data.head. This displays the first 5 rows of the dataset defaultly. You can specify the number. If you say 3, you are going to see the first 3 rows. If you say tail 3, you are going to see the last 3 rows, and it's defaultly 5. So I will say head and 2. And now here we have a data frame like this, and also check its length like data shape, and 1000 rows with 21 columns. Okay, seems pretty good. Let's start to our data cleaning operations. So here is our data cleaning steps. The first one is deleting redundant columns. So I'm going to call the data again, data.columns with data.head1. And what I'm going to do is I will say data. I'm going to take the ones that I'm going to be using, and we can delete the others like data.drop, and we are going to say columns, and we can drop checking status, duration, I think create history can be dropped, purpose can be dropped, create amount can stay. So let's paste them. We are going to give it a list. Since we are going to be giving multiple columns, if you want to drop only one column, then you can just pass one, but we are going to drop multiple. And in here what we are going to do is I'm going to drop employment, installment, commitment like this. And let's read from here. Personal status can maybe stay. No, I'm going to delete that too. Other parties, I'm going to delete that. Residencies, property magnitude, I'm going to delete them. By the way, I'm deleting a little bit fast. I'm not thinking a lot, so it doesn't really matter. We are going to be focusing on the data cleaning methods, so we are not going to do any kind of modeling, so I'm not taking out of care on it. Next, other payment plans, I'm going to delete this one too, like this. And let's delete the number of dependents, and I think it's enough. So I'm going to do that too, and our list is going to be end like this, and I'm going to make it run. What you are going to see in here is we are going to get a new data frame from this, and I'm going to call it. So this says 9 columns, the columns that we wanted, but here we got a problem. Whenever I call the data, we are going to have 21 columns again because we didn't set this. So if we want this data frame to be our new data frame from now on, what we can do is we can either do data equals to this data frame and it's going to modify the original data we have, or we can simply say after the list in place equals to true, and with this it's going to set our data frame originally, and whenever I call the data, instead of 21 columns, we are going to have 9 like this. Okay. Also, let's also drop the saving status. I don't want that, so I will say data drop. Then I will say columns equals to saving status, and I will say in place equals true. And I'm going to drop that one. It says here saving status not found in access. So let's check its actual name. It's saving status like this. Let's give it again. Okay, with brackets, let's give it. And let's see if we are going to have it right now. Okay, so I will call data. Okay, we don't have any saving status right now. Great. Let's continue with the next step. And I'm going to paste it in here. Our next step is renaming the columns. So let me call the data again. Now we have 8 columns and they are in lowercase letters. And instead of changing one, I'm going to change all of them. Like I'm going to say, like example, and it's going to be my string, like string example. We can do that. And whenever call, we'll say example.capitalize, and it's going to give me the first letter in uppercase letters. Like I can change this, and you are going to see the result, and it's like this. So what I'm going to do is I want my first letter to be uppercase letters for all of the columns in the data. So what we can do is in here, for that I'm going to say data.columns, and I will say new list, like data new column names, and it's going to be an empty list for now. and I will say for index in data.columns, I'm going to say print index.capitalize. Now I'm going to show you what it returns. Then I'm going to show you how we can set that to our new list. Like we have all uppercase for the first letters now, and in here, instead of printing, I will say data new column names dot append, and I'm going to give index.capitalize like this. And when I call the data new column names, we are going to have the new column names, so we can call data.columns, and we can set data new column names like this. And whenever I call the data right now or data.columns, we are going to see that our column names are changed in the way that we want it. So we can continue with the next step we have. So I'm going to paste it in here like this, and we did this, and it's time for dropping the duplicates. So for that, I will call data.duplicated, and it's going to return booleans for every row we have in the dataset like this. And if we call sum after that, we are going to have the total of 0. So we don't need to remove anything because there is no duplicates. What if we had? Then we can say data drop duplicates, and we can set it at in place true because it's going to return a new data frame like this. But if you say in place equals to true, it's going to original the data, and if you call this, you are not going to have any duplicates in your dataset. So next step, remove the NA values from the dataset. So for that, I will call data is NA. Let's still like copy this in here so it's not going to be get mixed up with the duplicates. Is NA, and it's going to return booleans cell-wise. And if you say sum, you are going to get the NA value counts column-wise. We don't have any. What if we had? We can use data drop NA with in place equals to true if we had, and then we are not going to have any NA values in our dataset. We don't have any in this dataset, but I just want to show you how we can remove if you have. Last one, check for some more transformations. Let's do that. I'm going to call the data. Okay, let's modify this one, the class. So I'm going to call data class like this, the series we have like this, and in here I'm going to say number of unique for seeing how many unique values we have. It seems like good and bad only, so we have 2. Okay, and let's be sure about the unique values. Okay, it seems pretty good. What I'm going to do in here is, since machine learning modeling requires numeric values, I'm going to modify this column's values like 1 for good and 0 for bad. So we are going to change good and bad with 1 and 0s. How we can do that is we can say data class dot apply, and we can say lambda x is going to be 1 if x occurs to good, else 0, and it's going to be returning a series, but we are not going to have it in the original data frame right now. Like I'm going to call it in here quickly, and we are going to see that we have still good and bad. How we can set this is we can say data class, and it's going to be like data class apply lambda x1 good else 0, and I'm going to call this, and we are going to have 1 and 0s in here. And let's check its data type, data class, and we can directly take something from it like the first index, let's say, and I will say type in here, and let's check its data types. It's numpy integer. Okay, great. I will call data again, and let's also do a modification in the existing credits one. So I will call data existing credits, and I will say like the first one, and I'm going to use type on this. It's going to be float, and let's say we are going to make them integers. Like I will say data existing credits dot unique, and we are going to have integer type values. Like we now have floats, but they are integer type 2, 1, 3, 4. So how we can do that is we can say data existing credits as type integer, and now we have the series that we wanted. We can save it like data existing credits, and we are going to save it like this, and we are going to have our dataset ready. As the last step, I'm going to export this dataset. Like we still have the dirt version in our computer, and now we cleaned it. Now we can set it with the modifications we made. So how we can do that is we can say data. Let's firstly look at how we can do that for an Excel file. Data to Excel and clean data.xlsx, the Excel file extension, and you can specify index false. I generally do that. Defaultly it also writes the index like 0, 1, 2, but I don't want it, and I'm going to make this run, and we are going to see that we have clean data xlsx in here. Also, I'm going to show you how we can do that for CSV, and cleaned CSV data.csv, and I'm going to specify the index as false, and I'm going to check it here, clean CSV data.csv. Okay, it seems pretty nice. That was all for this video. Thanks for watching. I have a playlist of data cleaning videos, and you can reach that playlist from the cards of this video. Also, I have a data science bootcamp that I shared on the YouTube, which is over 7 hours. You can find that video in the description of this video. Thanks for watching again. I will be really happy if you can leave a like and subscribe. I share a new video every week, and let's get to the outro. Thanks for watching this video on data cleaning. I share new data science videos every week. You can subscribe for more videos like this. Have a great day.